Well, we've had a few actually. We've been in a few predicaments.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good one in when we were down in not Cornwall. Where was we? We're doing that bloody work for that stupid woman.
Oh, lady so and so. That one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was. Oh, bloody hell! That was sheer fate. That was that we got away with that.
I don't know how one of us wasn't killed in that process. So the backstory is we were. What was it? An extension, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so it was an extension that it was an extension on a hill that an architect had massively overkilled on the foundation, really, isn't he? Yeah. We were being instructed basically to put in flipping at quarter-ton concrete rings, weren't we?
Yeah.
As a surrounding, and then basically
filling them up with concrete.
Yeah, putting reinforced steel in, and then concreting them as basically giant legs.
Yeah.
And because it was on a bank, and obviously the big concrete rings are round, we had a problem with getting them from the flat down to where we had to get them. We couldn't get any major machinery to get cranes or anything to lift it. So unfortunately, we had to come up with an idea of how to transport them and that. So we we were using a power barrow, weren't we? So we got a power barrow on basically like a tracked barrow, I'm hanging on the back end to try and keep weight down, and then we've got the ring on its edge to roll. But we got it chained. Yeah. Did we have it chained then? No, we had it roped then, didn't we?
Roped, yeah.
We had it roped about 5 times. We had it going through a bit of scaffold pole to act like a roller. Yeah. And we were gently rolling it down the hill and manoeuvring it into position. Well, we probably got, I don't know, 2 or 3 of these rings down.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We were doing quite well. And then for whatever reason, well, it was probably common sense really, the rope decided to snap, didn't it? Yeah. And Alan's in front of the ring. No. I'm all right. I'm on the back of the thing. Alan. So we were trying to be safe. So Alan's using a great big thick piece of timber as a brake, basically. So I'm trying to ease it down, and Alan's using this great big piece of timber as a brake doing every sort of foot, just gently slowing down. Well, of course, he must have picked the wood out at the brake as the rope snapped, which then in turn let it go off the power barrow and decided to almost run him over. So as it's all of a sudden gone, I've just gone, I've just sort of shouted, whatever comes to mind. And he's gone, huh? And then all I see in him is he's gone like that. And this ring set off down this bank, launched itself off the first sort of raised bed, straight through the neighbour's fence, and hit a great big tree. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So and this has all happened really fast, and we're sort of like, holy shit, what the fucking hell? And he sort of got back up, like that, blood all coming down the side of his face, and I've gone, you bleeding? Am I? Am I? He's gone, am I? I said, yeah. Oh look, he's got a great big flipping gash across the front of his forehead, and I went, how the hell did you do that? You dived out the way. He said, no, I didn't. He said, that piece of wood knocked me over there. And the brake had flicked, and the wood had gone that fast. I didn't see it, and it actually knocked him to the side, which is probably just as well, because otherwise the concrete ring would have gone straight over the top of him.
Sounds like something out of Looney Tunes.
It was something out of Looney Tunes.
Good fun, that one.
Sounds it, yeah. Your type of fun and my type of fun, a little bit different.
So we Talibanned him up, and we got him bandaged up, and we finished doing the rings, and then we went down to hospital. Then they glued it back together, didn't we?
Yeah. But the nurse says, why didn't you come when you did it? And we was about 2 hours after. I said, oh well, we had to finish what we were doing, which was just as well, because it went through the neighbour's fence and hit this tree, and I thought, thank God for that, because if it had gone straight down the hill, the next house down the bottom of the hill, the roof was actually level with the ground. It would have gone straight and anybody been there to have killed them.
Yeah. It would have been,
So we was extremely lucky.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
I was. He wasn't, but I was.
And do you know what the customer said? Do you remember what she...
I remember a lot of things she said.
She wasn't there when it happened. We managed to get everything done, cleaned up. The fence, everything was repaired, so there was no evidence of anything. And she happened, as I was going down, or as we was going down to the hospital for me to be stitched up, she passed us on the road and she waved, you know, and we sort of waved back, you know. And anyway, when we got back up to the house, I told her what I said what had happened. I'd had an accident. All I said was I'd had an accident. And she says, I hope you're not going to charge me for the time you was in the hospital. That was a so-called lady so-and-so. I won't say
lady so-and-so.
Lady so-and-so. And I thought, yeah, that just about sums you up. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
But it was all fun and games anyway. It didn't affect me. You know.
Well, not that you'd have noticed anyway.
No, but I'm just thinking, you know, sometimes you get... I worked for I was working down in Broadwash, down in the Cotswolds. And the company I worked for at the time, I won't say it was pleasant, but anyway, the thing is, we'd been for a meal that night, me and my mate. We went out most nights to get a meal from the local pub, you know, before we sort of went to keep. And anyway, I remember what it was chicken. It was some form of chicken dish, and it tasted very nice. But one time, bloody ill that night, food poisoning of some sort, and I was in a right state. I didn't go to work the next day, you know, and I was. And I thought, tell her.
I know what you know what's coming.
Maybe
go on, you've triggered something there. Anyway. So everybody's knowing about this one.
No, but the thing is I thought, well, I've got to tell the boss, you know, when they come. I said, you know, because I was not on site and the clients would have realised I wasn't there. So I owned up and said I was ill. We had food poisoning of some sort. And he says, so make sure you deduct it off your bill when you send your bill. And I think that's typical, just typical of a certain mentality of so-called people, shall we say, that thinks they're a cut above everybody else.
Well, that's sort of stroking into some customers are there, innit?
Yeah.
You know, they're a bit like that. When we touches on like sort of rogue customers, that's almost it's going into that roguish territory, innit? Of you know.
Yeah.
Unless you're on site, then they don't expect to pay you. You could be working for them. Yeah. You're getting material. I know I've had one before, getting materials for people, and I've had the same. Going, oh, you haven't been, you didn't get here till 11 o'clock. Well, yeah, but it's taking me 2 hours to go and get all the materials to come and do your job.
Yeah.
You know it's part of the job. You know, and then they start. Oh, I don't want to be. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
But stuff like that.